lot of people talk about the New Testament with this message of love and peace and everything else, and yet when you actually go through it and think about what the hell you're reading for a second, the New Testament continues the Old Testament's take on slavery. Mm-hmm. Right. It continues the Old Testament's take on women as property. It continues the Old Testament's take of death being the punishment for some really silly things like adultery. I mean, that's still in the New Testament. The woman is to be put to death. So you've got all of the baggage of the Old Testament, not to mention the idea that Jesus is one and the same as the God of the Old Testament. So you can't escape the Old Testament. You can't disregard it and say this New Testament is such a wonderful thing when it has all the baggage of the Old Testament and some of its own baggage, including this incredibly obscene notion of infinite punishment for finite crimes. Nobody, I don't care if you want to just believe it because the Bible says so, I'll say you're fucking stupid, and immoral, because the concept that there could be an infinitely just God, which is described by the Bible, and that infinite concept of wisdom and justice would approve, sanction, and create infinite torture for finite crimes is absurd. And the idea that he did all this knowingly, that he created a world knowing everything that would ever happen, puts all of the responsibility for every one of those crimes on his shoulders as well. Yeah, but and raises the absurdity of why go through the process in the first place if you know what the outcome is.
But humans are vindictive. Our tendency seems to be to hold grudges, and really that I think is why it appeals to people. They go, yeah, if somebody is bad and not repentant, then I'm never going to forgive them, and so neither would God. It doesn't seem surprising to them at all.
And I'm going to punish them forever.
Well, if they don't let go, then it was their choice. I mean, I've heard that a lot. Yeah, and right? They condemned themselves to go there. But the problem with that is that there's this magical line that's crossed, and after you've crossed that line, you can't then you can't have been in hell for 100 years and say, okay, fuck it, I'm sorry. Right? If you could, that would be different.
Right. There is a response that I've heard, which is that sin is infinite. Anytime you do something against God...
Oh, crap. It's infinitely tiny compared to the infinite power of God.
Well, that's how we would look at it.
Hitler's massacre of the Jews in concentration camps, compared to an infinite God...
Spitting on Sunday.
is nothing. I mean, it's less than a speck of dust.
Hello. Hitler's actions, which he sometimes justified as being doing God's work...
Yeah.
There's the possibility, if Christianity is true, that it could be true, because he's not doing anything different from what the God in the Old Testament did, running around killing every neighboring tribe so that his preferred tribe could take their lands and have their goods.
Right. Well, the Christian idea is that everything you do is wrong, just about.
Right.
But as long as you, accept Jesus, as long as you accept Jesus, you're not... you're forgiven. You're not punished for it. You're still doing things wrong. In fact, infinitely wrong if this concept of sin is accurate. Which is why I would ask, so why don't our real life laws reflect this? Why do we not get the death penalty for everything?
We know better than the Christian God.
Our morality is superior to that was written thousands of years ago by a bunch of barbarians.
And we get back to this analogy about the judge that I was going to bring up earlier, which is, I've heard it put this way. It's something like, so there's this judge, and his daughter is up on some petty little crime, but there's a 3 strikes law, so he has to send her to jail for life. But then the judge says, under the law, I have no choice but to send you to jail for life, but because I love you so much, my daughter, I'm going to let you free, and I'll go to jail instead.
Right.
And that's such a cute story, but it makes no fucking sense in the real world.
Right.
Right. Like, for instance, why not just let the daughter go and not serve in her place? Because as far as I know, no laws actually have any sort of clause that says somebody can serve in your place. What good would it do?
Right.
What if there was a serial killer and his mother said, I'll go to jail for you?
Right.
Then you'd still have the problem that this serial killer is loose. The mother being in jail doesn't do anybody any good. So if God made the laws, why doesn't he just forgive everybody? If he wants to forgive them, why go through this rigmarole of undergoing horrible torture? Why not just say, everyone, I forgive you. Amnesty for all.
Yep. And if the price of amnesty is simply saying, "Oh, I believe,"
I'll do that right now.
I
believe.
No, but I won't do that right now.
I won't because I can't.
Because
I didn't mean it.
The thing is that I can't do that because the thing I'm being threatened with, I have no reason to take seriously in the first place.
But you can easily say, I believe.
I could, sure.
Okay.
Sure, what the hell?
Protection racket.
See, I figure I've beaten Pascal's wager.
I've heard a lot of atheists say, it's not within my power to believe this stuff, even if I wanted to. I think I could. All I'd have to do was say, I've done a cost-benefit analysis here, and it seems to me to make more sense to just set aside my rational faculties and believe this crap. But I don't do that because I'm not in a situation where the cost-benefit analysis says I should set aside my rational faculties and accept the crap. I'm not there.
See, I don't even think that's possible.
I think I've beaten Pascal's wager because
I know I could do it.
At the end of all the
I'd
Jack
probably
Schiff
justify
comics,
it by saying that was rational. Sorry.